fresh butter. But first we had to clean them. According to Gary, you should never wash mushrooms as good as these. It makes them fill up with water and can ruin the taste. So we sat there, gently brushing the dirt off them, whilst the ponies sauntered by. The salad, of course, must be washed. I decided this was a job for my dinner guest Gary, as I had one more thing to prepare using one of my trusty jam jars. So I've just whipped up a quick dressing, a few chilli flakes, garlic, some whole grain mustard and a few bits and pieces, and some thyme in there as a celebration of the fact that we found some wild thyme and weren't allowed to pick it. Give that a quick shake, balsamic, olive oil, a little bit of sesame oil to finish it off, a little bit of brown sugar just to sweeten it up a little bit. There it is, simple, good stuff. It's going on the salad. Oh, right, okay, now, chance to get cooking, chance to get back in the van, back to my lovely little kitchen. Here we go. I've got the mushrooms, light the gas, tip for butter, stick it in a jar, and then when it gets warm, it won't melt all over your kitchen. I mean, we could cook them with all kinds of stuff, herbs, garlic, whatever, but today we'll keep it simple, we'll keep it fresh. And it doesn't get much fresher than this. From the ground to the pan in just a few hours. All I need now is some toast to put them on. So in case you thought that campervan living was just touring cooking, we also have another method, which is our fabulous grill with a tiny, cute little grill pan that takes 2 slices of bread, thank goodness, because obviously I've got a guest tonight. And under they go, keep my eye on them. Meanwhile, oh, look at that. Don't they just look absolute gorgeous? Cook's prerogative. Oh my word. They are sensational, and I won't use words like that very often about my food. That is absolutely fantastic. They are so delicious. They're just soft and sensational. Here we go, Gary.
Superb.
You get the big one. Bit of salad. Chanterelle mushrooms on toasted doorsteps with foraged leaves. The salad, which could so easily have been dangerous without a positive ID from Gary, was wonderfully crisp, with the spiciness of the oryx leaves perfectly complementing the nuttiness of the succulent chanterelle mushrooms. Thanks to Gary, who has just brought something really special to my plate today into the van, which is being out in the countryside and being so comfortable with what to find, where to find it, where to look, and you know, all that kind of stuff. And we've ended up with 2 plates of really fantastic, really simple, and absolutely delicious grub. So cheers to Gary and cheers to the New Forest. I still don't believe there are any snakes around here. I just think you're kidding me.
Look out behind you.
Still to come, I try my luck with milking goats. Oh, she's put her foot in the bucket. I've barely got enough for my cornflakes. And tackle a classic French recipe, putting my campervan kitchen to the test. Luckily, last night's mushrooms didn't kill me, and I woke up to a quite breathtaking New Forest morning. First thing in the morning, after a night in the van, the most essential thing, after a yawn and a stretch, is a cup of tea. Also, in case you hadn't noticed, it's essential when camping to have a whistling kettle. It's one of the cornerstones of campervan living. And campervan living without a whistling kettle is not living at all. After my morning cuppa, it was time to hit the road again to track down the ingredients for my next meal. Potatoes dauphinoise made with fresh, local goat's cheese. But the New Forest rush hour was in danger of making me late. Time for a campervan tip. We have a cow in the road situation. Now the thing to do here is to be as bold as you possibly can and just keep going because they'll move out of the way. There you go. See, a lot of people make the mistake of sitting and waiting for the cows to move, but they're not going to move. Why should they? They're sitting in the road having a nice day out. There's a glorious view. With the cows successfully avoided, it was just me and the open road again. Plus a queue of cars forming behind me. It's quite nice really, because every day in a camper van is a bit like being a Sunday driver, because you can't do anything else but Sunday driving. As you go along, you just do the Sunday driving thing. Bom diddly om bom bom diddly om bom bom diddly om bom bom. That's it. Clear road in front of you, miles and miles of traffic behind you. King of the road. After driving across the New Forest to the village of Sway, I arrived at a farm to collect my ingredients for tonight's meal. Oh, hello, look at you. Hello. Do you have a name? No? What a beautiful little thing you are. The New Forest Goat Dairy is something of a local success story, and the cheese these lovely goats produce is sold across the UK. 4 years ago, the owner Claire Holmes and her husband Jason quit their jobs in the marine industry for a life as goat farmers.
We started off with 3 goats just to have a bit of milk for ourselves, and we've gone a bit chaotic now and ended up with 55.
How old are they when you're able to milk them?
We'll leave it 18 months, so that this year is they'll have a year growing up, and we call it the Asbo year because they just get up to mischief. And then we'll put them into kid and we'll start milking them the following sort of spring.
Are they quite naughty then? Do they sort of get into trouble with
They do get into an awful lot of trouble.
Claire very kindly agreed to let me park up the van in her field, so as campervan etiquette dictates, I had to return a favour with a favour. I'd be honoured if you would allow me to cook for you this evening.
Oh, thank you very much. No, we'd love to, and love to see what you can rustle up. Be great.
Pressure's on. These goats are famous for their cheese, so I wanted to make it my key ingredient for tonight's meal. Goat's cheese dauphinoise. I like to know where my food comes from, so it was time for a bit of goat milking.
These are the working girls.
Hello, ladies. Aren't you lovely? Maybe not a lady, this one?
No, this is George Clooney, our billy goat.
George Clooney?
Yes.
Is he popular with the ladies?
Oh, he's very, very popular and very fertile, so...
Oh, hello, George. How are you? And hello.
Should we go in and, meet the girls?
Let's go in. And hello, you. How are you doing? Lovely. I entered the arena, brimming with confidence. Ladies, who's first?
I think it'll be Violet.
Violet, come on, girl. I'm coming for you. If George Clooney can do it, surely I too could work my charms on Violet. What could possibly go wrong? Hello, Violet. Hello, you are lovely, aren't you?
Give her others a little wipe because we don't want any germs and dirt.
Is that... Oh, she's a bit feisty. Am I going in the right way?
Yes, yeah, that's fine.
So give oh, she's not too keen on that. Not a good start. And not even a drop of milk in my bucket.
Close your hand around the udder.
Yeah.
And you'll work in a downward motion, starting with your first index finger. Good girl.
She doesn't seem to like me, does she?
She's not really, The thing is with goats, they often get very used to the same people milking them all the time.
Come on, Violet. Violet might have been full to bursting, but there was no way she was going to let me anywhere near her. Okay. My dinner plans were not going well. Do you know what, Violet? Come here. I think that we ought to find somebody else.
Perhaps we'll find someone a bit more amenable.
Yeah, exactly. Somebody who actually wants to be milked. Violet may have been less than enamoured, but there was one goat who only had eyes for me. Oh, hello. Oh, hello, George. How are you? Are you friendly? Yes?
Well, I think Martin's actually just being eyed up as a potential part of his harem.
Do I maybe look like a kind of long-haired goat or something like you see?
He's very attractive. Come on then, Lottie.
Having escaped the charms of George Clooney, Claire took me to meet Plan B, a more compliant goat to milk named Lottie.
And start with your index finger, squeeze down. Squeeze down with each of your fingers.
Oh yeah. Nothing yet. My whole credibility as a country-loving soul hung in the balance.
Takes a bit of time.
Oh, here we go.
How are you doing?
Hey! Oh, look at that. I am officially now what you might describe as milking a goat.
Good girl.
Oh, I see. You can kind of feel the teat filling up, can't you? And then you can force it out.
Yeah.
Oh, she's put her foot in the bucket.
Even good-natured Lottie had had enough of me.
Not very good at this at all. I've barely got enough for my cornflakes.
It was time to concede defeat and let the goats head off to be milked by someone who knew what they were doing.
Away they go. Stay away from the van. Stay away from the van.
Having successfully guided the herd away from my paintwork, I headed off to prepare dinner for Claire and Jason. A potato classic, but with a goaty twist.
I'm going to make goat's cheese dauphinoise. I'll make it at home, usually cook it in the oven. Can you cook it in a camper van? We'll give it a go.
And to go with my goat's cheese treat, locally reared rump steak, grilled on my trusty bucket barbecue. Back to my French classic dauphinoise sauce of cream, garlic, nutmeg and pepper, which is poured over my almost cooked spuds.
So instead of parboiling the potatoes, I've cooked them till they're almost done. So I'm going to put this under the grill, and then the last thing I need is the goat's cheese. Hi Claire.
Hi Martin, here we go as promised.
Oh,
This
great
is
stuff.
the plain fresh cheese that we make.
Oh, that's exactly what I was after. Brilliant. I can't wait to get started. Will your husband be joining us?
Oh, I'm sure he'd love to.
Excellent. I'll need another chair.
Great.
Give me half an hour or so and we'll be ready.
Give us a shout, thanks.
Cheers. Going to slice it as thin as I can. It's a little bit crumbly, but it's not falling apart. And it's just got a really lovely texture. You know, it's really fresh. It's only been made a few days ago, and it's going to cook really, really well.
I don't have an oven in my camper van, but after 10 minutes, the grill had worked wonders.
So out come the potatoes. All that garlicky cream has had a chance to work its magic. On goes the goat's cheese. I think that's looking pretty good. All I've got to do now is whack the grill up, whack it back in.
With Claire and Jason on their way, it was time to plate up.
Okay, so lovely bits of juicy steak, handful of rocket, tiny drizzle of balsamic, nice dollop of beetroot chutney, and then we're ready for the dauphinoise. Hi guys, how are you doing?
Hi Martin, how are you?
Just finishing up, just
absolutely lovely.
about to plate up the dauphinoise. Sir, job for you.
The moment of truth. Will Claire and Jason think I've made good use of their award-winning cheese?
Here we go.
Rump steak and rocket salad served with goat's cheese dauphinoise potatoes.
See if we're doing your wonderful goat's cheese justice.
It's amazing what you can do in a camper van.
That's the challenge, isn't it? To create something that, you know, favourite dishes without having to resort to baked beans on toast. Pull up your chairs and let's try it out.
Time to taste my evening's work.
Worked really well with potatoes, didn't it?
Looks all right, doesn't it?
It's the sweetness of the chutney, isn't it, with the sharpness of the goat's cheese.
Well, absolutely. Just beautiful, beautiful cheese, and it's really made this dish for me, so thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Well, there you go. I'm quite pleased with that. Some of it's my work, of course. The rest of it is the work of Lottie, Kerry, and of course none of it would be possible without our George. Here's to Curious George and Campervan Goat's Cheese Dauphinoise. Thank you very much. I've had a really great time.
The moon was out, it was getting late, and I was exhausted. But the kids were still wide awake.
Oh, look who it is.
Hello, you guys.
What are you up to?
Shouldn't you lot be in bed, eh? Hey.
Next time, I take a campervan trail to the North Norfolk coast.
The landscapes are just flat and big and wide with these most enormous skies.
I'll show you the best way to open a crab without all the fancy tools. I have a go at roadside roulette.
Oh, here's one. Let's go. Let's see what they've got.
Cooking food only from roadside stalls. A campervan gadget saves the day.
Pretty warm.
And I do battle with the finger-snapping main course.
Look at the size of those claws. They're amazing. Ow, 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 ow. Have I got a pot that's big enough?